like you're doing something. I'm putting this on YouTube.
Oh, sure. Always the funny guy. Well, what it is, we're here in Houma, Louisiana. There's a big boat being built back over there because we're at a shipyard in Houma. And this here is a dry dock that's under construction. They're building this dry dock and it's going to be massive when it's finished. But like I say, it's still under construction. So when Isaac came through, it started flooding that other side. This side, fortunately, was still floating when we got here. And when you look at the wall right there, you can see these holes. Those are access holes. Okay, that's what we have all along the other side over there. We have patched all these holes on the other side, just like this one. So that's how these patches work. So the salvage covers that we're going to use are way too big for me to move around by myself underwater. So what we did is we put a cherry picker on a barge and we used a big massive crane to get it over there, and then they lowered those things down in place for me to put the salvage covers on. The salvage covers consisted of two quick connects like this. One's a 6-inch and one's a 3-inch, and there was 12 of them, and they're all marked. You can see that's number 10 and number 12, and there's number 5. Well, the shipyard said that it was imperative that we went ahead and put each one on the one that we had. So as I pulled them off, they went and marked them for which one goes right back, the exact same place that we took them off. And this is some neoprene that we're going to go put on the bottom of the covers so that they seal down. We don't have to spend all day putting rags and duck seal and all kinds of time-wasting stuff. This just sits right down on top of there, and once you start taking the suction from those pumps, she'll lock right down where it won't be. These guys spared no expenses on the PVC that goes down inside the barge and the PVC that goes across the deck to get it from the pumps down to the salvage covers. Now they're bringing over some 6-inch pumps, and a lot of jobs you have a hard time getting them to get 6-inch pumps. They're like, oh yeah, we're fine with 3-inch. But to get a 6-inch pump on a job is absolutely imperative when you're working with salvage. But these guys, they got 8 salvage pumps. There's a shameless plug for my company, of course. And here's me getting ready to go in the water and start connecting some of these, installing some of these salvage covers. Unfortunately, we didn't get any footage of the salvage covers going in with the cherry picker on the other side of the Alright, this is what the salvage cover looks like once it's attached. So each section of this PVC is connected with 2 flex hoses, one at the top and one at the bottom. That's a lot of people, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Like some ants on a watermelon.
And all the PVC pipes were being swung into place. This particular one is being done by D&D divers. They also went and patched a bunch of the weld seams on the other side that were unwelded while I was installing the hatches. Now, once all 8 pumps are attached and secured, we go ahead and start pumping and start taking the water out. And we had a little problem with the hoses. The discharge hoses started whipping around like snakes on the deck, so every one of them had to be tied off onto something to keep them from whipping around. And I can tell you I was glad to get some help with that, because some of those were pretty tough. Okay, so what he's doing now is just checking to see if he can feel air coming inside that hose. That means that the water is coming out of the compartments. It's just a waiting game now. As a matter of fact, we waited until almost 10 o'clock at night before the whole thing finally came up. It was a long, slow job. Now, we could have started at one end and used fewer pumps and slowly worked our way to the other end and come up, but because it's a new build, they wanted to come up with that whole side all together nice and evenly, and that's exactly what it did, just like planned. And here's a better picture of our salvage cover. That's what it looks like. So we're looking at about 1/2 day of prep and 1 full day of work, and it's floating. It's a done deal. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a comment. If you really liked it, go ahead and subscribe. I do have another page, Diver Dave. It's actually under Super Diver Dave, but either way, you can click up here in the right-hand corner and you will be able to get to that page also. Just want to say again, thanks. Appreciate you guys watching, and I got more coming. Take care.